Once again, hello and aloha Paul, which means God is glorious to all the people of the planet. Time 12:09. Today is 7th of August 2011. I'm in my apartment. I decided to speak tonight to the people of India. India and Indian culture, I think 100% I can vouch for that. Definitely is the oldest in the planet. We know the story of Adam and Eve, which according to Christian and Muslim goes about 6,000 years. 6 days means 6,000. But His Holiness Bob in his book refers to 12,000 years. That would have to be referred then to the civilization of India. Just like we have Adam, they have Manu, which really Manu means man. It seems that ancient Aryan people, they were there in India because of the affinities of the sum of the word and language. It is very ironic. The book Gita, which is an account overheard by somebody of the speech between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, is one of the deepest and the most meaningful book that I have read. Same thing to the rank of Quran and Bible and nothing short of that. Definitely the source of that must have been divine. It is an irony that the white people of Europe, their messengers and their spiritual leaders, a Semitic one, which is Jesus Christ, and Indian from India, their messengers and their prophet is actually an Aryan. You hear the word Aryan in the book Gita when Krishna, Lord Krishna speaks to Arjuna, calls him the best of Aryan. It seems that Aryan must have been a long time ago there before even they were anywhere else. The strangest account about the Indian culture is that of the Baha'i faith, which, it's a big discussion over this. In two places, clearly Abdullah says man began to be at the river of Ganges. From there, they went to Iran and Arabia and all over the world. And they developed based on the environment that they were underwent mutations, and then these changes occurred. So there you go. I always think that to say to the racist that sometimes we see them, most of the white people are not racist, but there is a certain brand of them that they turn into a species called redneck. I told them that one day, if you're really looking to find the real blood, the real man, the original man, the pure man, well then every one of you on the planet have to marry and remarry and marry and remarry, that finally collect the original gene of the man who was in India, who began in India. From there, all the genes were spread all around the world. It's a combination today, it takes us to purity. That's something to think about. Well, as for me, I remember that when the regime in Iran changed in around 1979, I came to India briefly and I went back to marry in Iran, trying to come out, and I couldn't. There was one angel of God, his name is Mr. Baggett. He was in the Indian embassy. I couldn't speak English well. I told him, I'm a Baha'i, sir. Ooh, he said, you are? I said, yes, I am, and I have to go. I had an admission, but it was very difficult to get visa. This gentleman, absolutely, was amazing. He helped me to get the visa and got me out of Iran. God would know what would have happened to me otherwise. So, well, I came to India. I have a picture on the computer. It says that in 1980, when I think arrived in Bombay, now they call it Mumbai, somewhere in area with a restaurant called Excelsior, where I was drinking an Indian Coke, I would say, with Mr. Shamir's. I have a picture of that on the website. As I started to be more in India, I found these people are the strangest, and the country as well. It's one of the strangest things in there. There's nothing similar to it. It is so unique. So I should, I guess, explain myself what I mean. What I found, for example, the Indian, for whatever reason, maybe because Lord Krishna told them that you have to be vegetarian, probably, they have a nervous system and no one on the planet can match it. These people have such a power when it comes to control. I'm sitting in the railway station in Bombay. My God, with trains, they go, I don't know, thousands of them. The whole building shakes. Definitely you could see this. And the man is sleeping on the bench. He's not waking up. I would say thousands of mosquitoes were attacking him back and forth, a swarm of it. Nothing would bother him. Learn from them to develop a nerve, that it's got such a shield around it, you cannot penetrate it. If an Indian does not want to get angry, he won't. The second attribute of the Indian people I've categorically found in the north and south, always they find some reason to be happy. They're always jolly. With the smallest little things, they just somehow find an happiness. If they have to stand and just have a tea, I would be fine. They have, it is impossible to make them depressed. I have not seen an Indian to be depressed in my life yet. The greatest things, which is the backbone of their character, is their humility. They are so humble. An Indian, I've seen it at any level. The way they communicate and behave, it is so humble. This humbleness is a striking attitude. It turns them into, when you look at this humbleness at one end and this strength that they have in their nerves, makes them like that movie of Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Liquid Metal Man. There was this movie that the guy was metallic, but it could change itself to become a liquid on the floor. Steel does that. It's flexible. You can make a needle out of steel, not out of wood. Indian soul is like that as steel. If it wants to be, it's the strongest. But at the same time, it can change to become so humble. One of the stunning attitude also about the Indian whole nation is that they're content. These two, humility and contentment, it'll take over the world. There is no weapon to deal with this. You see, they have no prejudice to any religion. This religious differences are killing people. Indians don't have that problem. How many people they killed themselves in Rwanda, in Africa? You heard it a few years ago. This thing doesn't happen in India. Amazing. Their democracy is definitely, absolutely unmatchable in the planet by anyone. America, Canada, Australia, they're all dictatorship compared to what's in India. Here is the dictatorship of the laws and the rules in Canada, not of the people. But in India, none of that exists. they're born. An Indian man is free man in his head. They're born to be free. But my God, this power of the nerve they have. We could not sit in the cab. This bus is going within a speed, I don't know, 100, 120 clicks, in the middle of the street, with seemingly full of people. And on all these buses and the cars is written, please sound horn. Something if you do here is such an insult. Not in India. Everyone, he sounds the horn. He misses the people just sometimes with 1 inch. The bus just comes and the guy goes. I don't know where they got this harmonizing in their head. This estimation of this space and time is so amazingly great. And of course, they are inherently spiritual. Universal laws of justice calls them noble people. They are truly noble. Their spirituality is something that we can formulate it, we can talk about it, we can philosophize it, we can make a religion out of it, but finally it will be the Indian. An embodiment of all what you want to say is right there. Many, many of them in number. So the only drawback of India is that they are 1 billion and more. If they were 200 million, imagine, 1/6 of what they are, India would have been the greatest, the biggest, absolutely the most advanced culture on the earth. It's the only nation that through 12,000 years, a lot of people maybe they disrespect them, invade them, and they try to change things. But Indians, they never lost their link to their originality. It's the biggest river that flows right from probably Manu. God knows how many. But has never been interrupted. It's uninterrupted civilization, right from the inception to here. So, it was 1984 when I came to India. We went to Pune and Panchgani, and then we went back to Tamil Nadu in the south. I remember the first book that I ever wrote was in relationship of Islam. I had to go to, I didn't have to, I just met Dr. Munji, who was the chairman of the National Spiritual Assembly of India, I believe at that time, or Dr. Shah was there, and he was there too. I met them in the train. This group of 9 people, they were all there in the train. They were so humble, they were so down to earth, they were so friendly. No formality that I'm a Baha'i and this guy. I was just absolutely absorbed by their behavior, by their attitude, by their easygoing attitude they had. They never carry these titles over their shoulder. I am this, I am that. I've seen a lot of them in Canada. People don't, casual. But in Indian, you just put the gear into humility and humbleness, and you would feel him just. And I'm a young kid. I was 27, 25, whatever. These gentlemen are older people. So, and of course, I talked to Dr. Munji. I have not seen anything again like him. His knowledge was immense. So immense. First time he told me that, well, you people know that there is prophet, that is Adam goes, the Noah and whatnot, and finally to Muhammad. But he told me that, did you know there were 5 series of the prophets? He told me, like in India, there was Manu, I can't remember everything, but there was Rama, there was Krishna, and the last one was Buddha. And he brought these things from the Vedas and whatnot. Very amazing, stuff that he was talking about, how everything comes together. And he said Baha'ullah is the 10th avatar, or Utar, And he was a Baha'i, but you had to hear him talking about Baha'i faith. I had the privilege to stay with him one night in the Panchgani. And I read the book for him, and he corrected it, part of it he didn't like, which I readily changed it to what he wanted. But, so I don't know where to go. I really don't have any message for Indians that to be worthy of advice. I just have to say, keep it up. Keep it up. There's one problem, of course, the population. Somehow it will be changing soon. God has a plan for that. But I have to say this. From the time that I came to Canada, I have seen this impenetrable Indian culture that's totally embedded into characters and soul of an Indian, interwoven. I've seen that be penetrated here. It's been penetrated by the Western culture. And this is a huge, matter of concern. One of the greatest transformer of all times is the Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. He is really, really the leader, the first number one of all the philosophers, of all the politicians, I should say, in the world. There is nothing like him. How he connected himself very well to all the thing that was in India and it was in the world. He studied the Baha'i faith. He says Baha'i faith is a solace